Greetings and salutations. This is a quick video just to let you know about some changes in the EzeeLinux community. The big news is that I am deleting the EzeeLinux Facebook page. It will be going away in the next day or two. By the time you see this video, it will probably be gone. Now, I have a lot of reasons for doing that, and I will get into those shortly. Before we do, let me thank everybody who was part of EzeeLinux on Facebook. Those of you who came along and liked the page, those of you who followed the page, those of you who posted intelligent, thoughtful comments, and just even clicked like on stuff that I posted. It's the main reason that I kept it going for as long as I did. If you would like to continue the conversation, you'd like to be a part of this community, come on over and join us at EzeeTalk. EzeeTalk is a forum that is completely and totally privately maintained by me and Jeremy O'Connell at CyberWeb Solutions. Jeremy O'Connell is a brilliant engineer and software developer who has donated his time to the EzeeLinux project over the last few years, and he's the one who maintains our webpage, the server that it's on, and this forum as well. There are only two people that have complete total access to this, and that's me and him. That's it. So your information is very safe. There's not even any advertising on this page, nor do I plan to put any on this page. I have no plans to do that at all. So we do not share your email address with anybody, which is the only thing that you need to create an account here. We do have moderators, and those moderators try and keep everything nice and friendly, and it's really easy. Just don't be a jerk. That's it. If you're not a jerk, you can be part of the forum and you can get along with everybody else. And we do get rid of the spam bots when they show up. Every now and again you might see something like that, but as soon as they're detected, boom, they're gone. So check out EzeeTalk. It is fun, it's secure, and it's easy to get started in. And I have to be quite honest, I have neglected EzeeTalk. I am going to try really hard now to start posting more things here and become more involved in the forum. And that's part of the reason why Facebook had to go, is that it just was taking up a lot of space in my head, and I needed to free that space for other things. So let's go ahead and talk about some of these reasons in more depth and just kind of get into the numbers and stuff like that. And I'll try not to go on for too long, although I have a lot to say. When I started the EzeeLinux project many years ago, it's been, 5 years ago now, I had a completely different vision for what it would be. I thought it would be a nonprofit company where I would have people who would help other people get started with Linux. I'm talking about one-on-one phone support. So I started doing that myself. In some of the older videos on the channel, you'll hear me talking about that. I don't do that anymore. I did it for about 2 years, 3 years. I couldn't get people interested in doing what I was doing. And so therefore the whole idea of EzeeLinux becoming an actual company just kind of went away. I myself stopped doing one-on-one support because it got to a place where I no longer could provide people with really good quality support because I didn't have the time. There were too many people. So I just had to just kind of let it go, and life changes. When I first started this, the idea was that it would become something that would become a job that would support me. Well, it didn't. So I've had to do other things, and these days I'm working, and I have another job, and I work from home, and that job takes up a lot of space in my head. So EzeeLinux is never going to become a company. It's never going to be a corporation. So having a Facebook page that is a business page for EzeeLinux really didn't make a lot of sense. The other thing about this is that the interest in this page leveled off a couple of years ago. The numbers have always been right around 5,000 people that liked the page, maybe about 6,000 followers. And that is a drop in the bucket when you compare it to 102,000 people who are subscribed to the YouTube channel. By far, YouTube is the most popular platform that I am on, and this channel continues to grow by leaps and bounds. People are coming in droves. So this, people talk about Facebook being a way to drive business to your regular web page or to your YouTube channel. It doesn't really, in the end, it doesn't work that way. Unless you have a super successful Facebook page and you have 1 million people liking it, really it doesn't work that way. And that's just the facts. So Facebook, for me, became sort of a drag. I didn't really feel like posting here. The other thing that has happened is the way people interact with social media has changed. Years ago, when I first started this, if I posted 5 paragraphs on something, let's say, then I would get a bunch of likes, a lot of really thoughtful comments. Those comments would spark conversation. That was happening on Facebook. It also happened at Freedom Penguin, which was a project that I was involved with Matt Hartley. Freedom Penguin is no more. When we started that was the idea. We would do blog-style posts, write articles, go off and do research. So once every week or two, I was writing these articles and posting them on Facebook and at Freedom Penguin at the same time. And people were really engaging with them. And then as time has gone on, I think what's happened is that people now are so bombarded with online content that they don't take the time to read such things. And everything has to be bite-sized these days or people just ignore it. So what happened is that I would spend several hours writing something and then I would post it here on this Facebook page and then get a couple likes, a couple of one-line comments. You could tell their comments were sort of out of context and people hadn't read the whole thing, that sort of thing. Like a golf clap, like, that's nice, thank you. So it becomes less and less rewarding to actually provide that sort of content. So I pretty much stopped doing it, except every once in a while. And I've had the same experience happen to me. I have a group on Facebook that is for people who are into turntables and stuff like that. And the same thing has happened there. People post things, not just me. And it's just because people don't engage with social media that way anymore. The other thing that happened, I think, is a combination of troll culture and just people getting tired of arguing with everybody, or it's crazy. We went through this period of time, especially in 2016, when there was a lot of political drama going on in the United States, when people were getting into political vicious discussions on the internet, and everything you posted, somebody would come along and attack you. And I mean, it got to the point where what I ended up doing was actually my personal Facebook page. I really scaled that back. I got rid of a lot of people. I got it down to about 40 folks that are family and friends. These are people that I actually know and talk to in real life and see. And those are the people who are my friends on Facebook. And that way I don't have to worry if I post something that some stranger that I don't know is going to attack me and start calling me names because they don't agree with what I have to say. And that happens a lot on YouTube as well, because it is this culture out there, these people that for whatever reason feel like that they can say whatever they want in a comment, and it drives people away. The last video I posted is a really good example. Several comments had to be deleted because they were so nasty. And I have made a commitment on YouTube to moderate that and filter out those comments and not leave them there, just so that when you read the comment section on one of my videos, you're not seeing people attack each other or use severe profanity, or there's a lot of out-of-context garbage and stuff like that, okay? And the last video I posted, I ended up removing several comments, and there was one guy that ended up getting blocked. And the way that happened is that he actually asked an innocent question, And I usually try and respond to people who ask questions. I look for question marks in contents, or comments rather. I look for the content to be a question that I'm going to answer. That's how my brain works, and that's why the words get mixed. And so the thing is that I answered his question, and then he disagreed with my answer. And then it got to be where he wanted to just try and get me to say what he wanted to hear. It was obvious. He baited me into an argument. And I don't want to argue with anybody. And I don't have to take crap off of some YouTuber who doesn't even have any videos on his channel. People that do that on YouTube, usually when you click over and look at their channel, they don't have any content. Because anybody with any content, and people actually watch their videos and see the garbage that comes in the comment section, they'd never do that to another person if they have a heart in their body. There's just no way they'd do it. So anyway, I ended up just deleting the thread because it was just like, I'm not going to argue with you. I ain't got time for that. And then the guy went around on the same video and posted nasty comments on other people's comments. He went down and replied through other people's comments. Well, I have every notification there is on YouTube turned on. I see this. So anyway, I had to block this guy completely. Now he can't even post on my channel. He's hidden because of this kind of behavior. And I think people are sick and tired of it, and they don't want to deal with it, so therefore they're afraid to comment, because what they comment on is going to be torn apart, and they're going to get called names and stuff like that. So what you tend to get in the comment section are people who make declarations. They make some sort of statement about what they think with no question marks in there at all. This is just what I think and blah. And that's it. And those comments really don't foster a lot of communication. It's people asking questions and answering. That's what you want. That's not what we're getting. And that doesn't happen across the board, social media-wise. Now, because I mentioned the comment section on YouTube, please do not post "ignore the haters." Please, I don't want to hear that. Because obviously you don't know what it's like to deal with them. It's not a matter of me whining about getting negative comments. It's a matter of me commenting on the state of social media altogether. You know what I'm saying? So don't do that. That's not what it's about. It's not about me. It's those pixels on a screen. They do not affect me personally. But people like that do affect the general atmosphere inside of any forum. And that discourages people who would ordinarily have positive, nice, thoughtful things to say. Even people who would disagree with you in a civil manner will not post because of that. That's why it's important. And that's why it's an issue altogether. Now, I must admit that on Facebook, there's less of that because usually when you click on people's names, it'll take you to their Facebook page, and some people share a lot of personal information about their life with the world there. And I think that they're less apt to just be out and out nasty. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen, because Lord knows even some of the people on my personal Facebook page post things that I find to be offensive or aggravating, but in that case I just scroll on. I don't pay attention to it. So anyhow, the face of social media is changing, and it's getting harder and harder to manage, getting harder and harder to get the engagements. And I guess the final thing that I want to say here is that this page was a victim of two things: engagement going away, and the fact that I sort of neglected it. So I'm not blaming anybody, but at the same time, obviously what I was posting was not riveting or entertaining enough for people to share it, which causes pages to grow. That's where growth happens. Things need to be shared in order for more people to see them. And that was not happening at the Facebook page on EzeeLinux. It's not happening with the videos that I post. It is not happening in a lot of places, people are less apt to engage that way. So my final word here, if you've listened so far, and most people don't listen to these videos for more than 5 minutes, according to the time watched statistic that I get. But if you have, if you care about content that's being provided to you, the best way that you can support it, other than monetarily, is to share what you see, number one. Engage with it. That means give it a thumbs up or a like or whatever it is on the platform. And write a comment. Write a nice comment. Write a comment that might get somebody to comment on your comment, if you can. If you do that, all of that helps content creators to gain more standing with the platform that they're trying to be on and get better listings from Google and everything it takes to be found and to be seen on the internet. That's what you need to do. So, in conclusion, thank you once again to everybody who has supported EzeeLinux over the years. I will continue to post videos on YouTube. I will continue to post Linux-related videos on YouTube. How frequently that will happen, I really don't know. I will continue to write things and post them in EzeeTalk. How often will I do that? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is that you can listen to me 7 to midnight Eastern U.S. at b999fm.com. I'll put a link to that in the description for the video if you want to check that out. Those of you who do click on that, you may be asked to drop your ad blocker. You can do it without worrying about it because the streaming service that we're using right now is not serving any ads, but for some reason or another, they do complain if you have an ad blocker. And if you don't feel like turning off your ad blocker, then you don't have to. But you might want to do that for YouTube because that's another thing about providing content here on the YouTube platform. There is a revenue stream here, which is enough for me to keep doing this. And if you drop your ad blocker and you watch a couple of ads, that helps. Part of the problem with speaking to a technically minded community is that these are the people who usually run ad blocking to enhance performance and increase security, especially if you're watching on a computer itself. And so, therefore, if you turn that off, at least for my channel, that's going to help. And that's as much as I'm ever going to ask you to do. I'm not really big into this Patreon thing, and I'm not big into. I believe in free content, period. And if you want to help, that's how you can do it. Thanks for watching, gang. We'll talk again soon.